Hello, welcome back to another version of My Opinion, You're Welcome for Sports. This is Darryl, I'm Dennis.
Yes, sir.
We got a number down here. If you got an opinion, share it with us. If not, fuck your mother. Anyhow, okay, that's from me. Okay. If she's hot, let me know. I'm sure that one's not going to go over very well. How you been?
Man, I'm great. I can't complain. Just came off a birthday. A lovely trip.
When was your birthday?
September 29th.
How old?
None of your goddamn business. Not playing.
God damn.
No, I'm 39.
Oh, you're just a baby. That's good. I'm 61.
God damn.
Well, you know what? When you're running around trying to escape the law all the time, you stay.
You say you Peter Pan.
Oh, and I can't wait to find Tinker. Wow. There's so much shit going on. Did you watch by any chance? I don't know if you like the double NBA. But
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God, the game last night.
Let me tell you something, man. Asia.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
I mean, she has to. You got to start having the conversation that she has to be one of the greatest women basketball players.
If she's
in her
not
generation.
the greatest woman right now, I mean, think about it. 3 or 4 time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year twice, MVP twice.
Finals MVP, what?
The second time. Yeah, she got it last year. But their point guard went out, and she had to take on extra. But let me tell you, when it was over, it was just chilling to watch because everybody talks about how guys are. Look, guys are great, but we know the NBA's full. I mean, like James Harden.
Yeah.
He went to Houston rather than practice because he's going to get $38 million. Go fuck yourself. These ladies fight for everything. But it was just, and then that last damn inbound pass by the Liberty. It's like, did anybody want to shoot it? And you shot an air ball. She'll be remembered, but she's still a damn good athlete.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It was so great to see, and you start to think about, it's really for the love of the game with the women. Oh, because they like, they're these kind. Well, they have to have like old jobs. How back in the day that they had to have like secondary jobs back in the 60s. Yeah. They have other jobs. They have other hustles. Sometimes you have to go to Russia to play basketball.
Brittany. Well, they make more money. Some of them make overseas, 7 figures in overseas and all the stuff that's going on. But nah, it was so fun to watch because a friend of mine, I have season tickets for the Kings. I also have them for the Sparks. I haven't been able to go in 3 years because of fucking craziness. You want to go to the Kings? Let me know. They're great fucking seats.
And absolutely.
And so
the best seats for the Sparks too. The best seats for Sparks.
So a friend of mine, I let him go. He took his 5-year-old daughter. This guy's on girls sports. He's like, hey, DH, you think you can give me tickets next year? I'm like, first of all, next year isn't here. I don't even know if I'm going to be here on Friday.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, and it's like our women's soccer. They just started a women's professional hockey league. Now, I don't know if there's a team here, but it's like people just always want to say that, the women, you're right. They're not as physical as men. But let me tell you this, when it comes to buying merchandise, who buys more merchandise?
Women.
When it comes to spending more money, who spends more money?
Women.
It's like Taylor Swift goes to the football game. The merchandise. And, that young lady is a brilliant. She's not dumb. She didn't just come for the love of whatever his name is, because don't know his name right now. But the bottom line is, one person, and even the network stipulated in their pregame meeting, they talked about how many times to go to her. I mean, you talk about marketing, they should pay this woman a good $50 million. I mean, because
absolutely.
It brought, but that's the beauty of, people don't want to give women credit for certain things. I mean, you think about it. Look in the crowds of most sports. See a lot of women too.
Absolutely.
Hockey games, these guys are beating the crap out of each other.
Absolutely.
You see, but last night she was so awesome. And just to watch her on the floor, the tears pouring and everything, it's genuine. It's not like the guys, well, we got this. And the women get paid a certain amount. Obviously, they deserve more. But look at the best start last night. Chucky the fucking doll, the owner of the Raiders, when he stepped up to scared the shit out of me. Number one, he's paler than a fucking ghost. He does have Chucky's haircut. And and he dresses all white like his dad. I mean, and then he spoke, and I'm like, oh my God, don't, because you're not giving Adams any touches with the Raiders, but you're celebrating.
It was so like a parody just watching him on the stage with them. That was crazy, but it's crazy that we start talking about women's sports because like LSU, I'm a big LSU fan, of course.
Oh, holy shit! If they don't win it this year, it's.
But that's the thing. Like, so they have their first tournament in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. And I'm doing my best to get out there for it, but it's crazy how the women's basketball game is starting to take on its own shape and form and like become like bigger because I played ball in high school and college, and I enjoy watching women. I don't care. They might not can't dunk. Well, some of them can dunk now, but they're so fundamental. They're so passionate. They're skilled. So it's just like it's just as entertaining to me.
Oh, to me, it's more entertaining because you think about it. Like, all right, you have the men. There's too much whining. They're made. I mean, I watched a soccer game, European soccer game, a couple of weeks ago. On the pitch at one time, the 22 guys, close to $800 million was their salary combined. The women, I mean, it's like the soccer, the precision in our U.S. team, the precision in watching the women's professional. Softball and baseball are back in the Olympics. And when we have the Olympics here in L.A. 2028, I think it is.
Yeah, that's right.
But, man, they're back. Why ever they went away, who the fuck cares? But they should have never gotten away with it. They're also bringing badminton and cricket. Now, I don't know if you ever watched cricket?
I've seen clips. I've never watched a cricket game.
I've watched, and I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, that ball is hard, but it's amazing because they don't wear gloves.
At all.
And they have to throw the ball like something's going wrong.
Yeah.
But no, the women are just fantastic. And what about this Adams deal? Did you see him today? His comments? Well, fucking hilarious.
He said, listen. It ain't about wins and losses.
You're looking at him, you're like, did you fucking just say that?
But you know what, though? He's a smart dude, man.
Oh, he ain't stupid.
And he ain't stupid, right?
No.
So, for me, I think that's game. I think he's setting up his trade me right now. So, but the fact that he said it's not about winning and losses with athletes like me, my caliber is if I'm not in a part of the game plan, if I'm not getting any touches, then, we need to reevaluate what's going on.
You love the athletes. It's like they had the commissioner for the NBA on First Take. Mm-hmm. And he said, they asked him about, Stephen A. Smith said, well, what he thought social media and podcasts. He said, look, we love it because here's the reality. If they're doing podcasts, they're in the NBA. He said, we don't really want the language and stuff like that. Well, really, you ain't watched Up in Smoke then.
Exactly.
And the bottom line is that's part of everything because young kids want to hear it. Kids want to hear and say, I played in the NBA, goddamn Chucks. They want to hear what's going on. But yeah, it was just hilarious because he did not miss a beat.
He did not miss.
And, nobody asked him a question.
Of course not.
And it's like, but he's got to go someplace to play because he's so fun to watch.
It's time for a trade. I mean, but he ain't dumb. He gonna get traded.
Oh yeah. Well, you got what? 2 more weeks.
You saw Miko Hartman got traded back to Kansas City.
Got traded back to Kansas City. Think about it. You go away, you come back. They got rid of you.
I saw that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
They had no speed on the field.
Well, the funny thing is, look, everybody got hurt there. This is why I love when people like Hill goes to the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Chargers or the Chiefs aren't going to be the same. Well, they won the championship. One man does not. He makes everybody so freaking phenomenal around because you think it's like this. It's like you like food, I love food.
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite food. If there's one missing ingredient, it ain't gonna taste the same.
It taste the same.
Or if your grandmother, my mom, something they cooked, I don't eat. But the only pumpkin pie I eat is Marie Callender. Mm-hmm. Closest thing to my grandma. Anybody else, you can't make it. Mm-hmm. So you think about it. If he ever goes down, the Chiefs will be like my Bears. Well, maybe not Bears. That bad. It's like it's like watching a concert with him on there.
It was so crazy because they were trying to. They were having a conversation about like the greatest receivers, and they were talking about Jerry, T.O., and then I think Randy Moss. Yep. And they were trying to say, well, he should be in that number, and they were trying to say, well, he's not. He don't have the greatest numbers as of yet. I mean, and it's a different time period. They throw the ball more. That was very run heavy back in the day, but. I don't know too many receivers that can catch a 5-yard, it's a regular slant and take it to the house.
No.
Like that, maybe Dante Hall back at his peak when he was with the Chiefs back in the day. Outside of him, there's not too many receivers.
Calvin Johnson. Think about this. And Calvin Johnson, they didn't even mention him about being one. And look, he holds the record. This is what kills me about records. All right. He's going to get 2,017 games. Chad Johnson got, 1,900 and something. I think it was 12 or 13 games. Uh-huh. So you think about that. Mm-hmm. The rushing records, all these different records. There should be an asterisk, like the Dodger fans who won the World Championship, and you're sitting your asses at home right now. There should be an asterisk.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, think about the Dodgers. Are they going to fire Dave Roberts?
No.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say this though, because I think the Dodgers fell victim to the same thing my Braves fell victim to. Baseball is a rhythm sport. And you just can't take 5 days off. Basketball, football, you need 5 or 6 days off if you can to recover.
Yeah.
Baseball is all about timing. Like if your timing is off when you're pitching on the mound, your mechanics, you're hitting, you're gonna come out flat. This is 2 years in a row. The two best teams in baseball has come out flat.
Well, think about this too. My nephew, I don't know if I told you, he's a AA pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves. And let me tell you, you look at it, what's the one thing both of them had trouble with? They're starting pitchers. And then Aurelius, that stupid son of a bitch,
man,
he shot himself in the wanger. Number one, he's not going to get a big contract. And doing what you did to a woman, you should never be able to play again. But the reality is, I mean, look at Freddie Freeman. People love him or hate him.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman just reminds me of like vanilla, boring as shit, but the doubles, the RBIs, the fucking batting.
I miss Freddie. Because the thing about Freddie is, although he's a home run hitter, he still can get you that crucial base hit.
Oh.
He can get you that, he can get you that double. You know? And that's the thing with my Braves this year. We had, 5 or 6 home runs? Well, five of the top 6 home run hitters in the league.
You had 5 guys over 30 home
Five
runs.
guys over 30. And
Fucking amazing.
But we couldn't hit a base hit to save us against the Phillies.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, all that comes down to timing and mechanics and the time being out, because I guarantee you, we smacked them all through the season.
Well, you beat the shit out of everybody.
Come on, man.
And not because my nephew's on the team. I used to tune in when I'm a Reds fan. We fucking, God bless us. But, it's just so fun to watch. And then it's like today, Philly's playing right now. Philly's going to close out Arizona. It's so bad.
It's so terrible. It's so bad. Bruh, the way they should have did it, we should have played Arizona first. And they would have had to play, and the Phillies should have had to play, what's their name? Whoever it was. And then we should have met up for the NLCS. Because it doesn't make sense, man. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And to ask Manfred, because he was on his first take maybe 2 weeks ago, we don't see anything wrong with it. We're going to keep it going.
The way
it doesn't make sense. Like, at least add 2 more teams. So if you want to have that little wild card, you can have that while we sit there and we play the weakest link or the weakest team in the.
Well, think about it. In hockey and in basketball, number 1 plays 8, and then number 9 plays number 6, or whatever it is, the 2 division. I mean, hockey has it right.
Every sport has it except for baseball. It doesn't make sense, man. No. And don't get me started, because I'm still pissed off because I'm up in New York and I couldn't even enjoy the damn game. I'm over here, man. I knew we was going to lose by the first game. After that first game, I said, bro, we getting swept.
Well, you know what's even more annoying? Fucking Houston Astros. You think about it. Okay, Texas kicked their ass. Then yesterday, Altuve, they showed, there's a guy that can play. They showed a double, not the home run he hit, because he had 16 home. The double,
the location?
Where it was like literally 3 inches off of the ground. And this man hit, but let me ask you a question. You're a Detroit fan. How come you didn't say something about Calvin Johnson?
Why didn't I say anything?
Yeah.
Because he was the only player we had that.
And that's the reason. You had Dan Orlovsky, which I got to tell you, I love Dan Orlovsky. He's one of the smartest guys in pro sports. And the way he breaks things down. But so that was the best player you had.
Well, that's why he had the records, because that's the only place you could go with the ball. No, we love Megatron. We love Megatron, just like we loved Barry.
He retired too damn early.
Yeah.
Have you seen the statue for Barry Sanders?
Yeah, yes, though.
I swear to God, the statue, the bottom of the statue, it's held on by this much steel, kryptonite. I don't know what the hell it is. It's one of the best featured statues. Have you seen those new things, those dolls they've made of football players that look more like the football player than the football player?
No.
They're these little things. I saw them on television the other day. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't mind collecting collectibles, like cards worth money. But how many people are going to say, I want that bobblehead of, T.J. Watts? I mean, seriously, what kind of fucking life do you have? But they're worth money at some point down the line, because they do these unlimited. Bullshit. You ain't doing it unlimited. You're making some sucker think you're doing it unlimited. But so you're a Braves fan. Who's your basketball team?
Group of Bulls fan. So outside of that, I go for the home team, the Pelicans. But outside of that, I really don't have. I like players now.
Yeah. Well, I think the NBA is the one sport, because in football you really don't know what anybody looks like sometimes. In basketball, they're right there. It's like Lonzo Ball. Oh, God, I hope to God the guy plays again. Thank God he got his money.
He's so good, man.
He's only 25 years old.
He's so talented, man.
And his brother?
Yeah. But I saw, just think about it. Golden State could have drafted, instead of drafted Wiseman, they could have drafted
Lonzo
Melo.
Ball. Or Melo
Melo
Ball.
Ball.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Melo with the Golden State Warriors? Man,
Well, you know, I think about this. You look at this. It seems like the young guys on the Golden State Warriors they regress because they don't play them a lot. I mean, look at some of those guys are great talent when they won the championship. Now they're not playing. But LaMelo Ball, you think about the contract this kid signed. He's 22 or 23 years old. It's 5 years. By the time he's 27, 28,
he'll get a max deal.
It'll be $600 million. And all you have to do is, if you're smart, this is what a friend of mine, Mitchell Butler, I do some work with, and Mitchell's a sport agent, one of the best people in the world. If you really want to make money, make an all-NBA first or second team as a rebounder or defense, then you get a maximum contract. I mean, people don't realize that.
Wait, so the qualification is if you make an all-NBA
You have
team?
to make all-NBA first, second, I think third team too, first, second, or third, then you qualify for a maximum contract. So there's only 15 guys each year that can
get a
qualify.
max deal.
Yeah.
So I thought it was by franchise. I thought it was the best player per franchise.
No, well, usually that best player has made one of those teams.
Okay.
I mean, you think about it, it's like Golden State. They're renegotiating with Klay Thompson. Okay, for 2 years he didn't play, but he collected 40-something million. He gets 43, I think, this year. So they said they're going to offer him anywhere between 35 and 40. And so he hasn't accepted it. Klay, you've already taken the money and run, my friend. Because Stephon Curry, his contract, he's the first to make 50-something, but his contract, he's got to do a new one. He's worth more money. I don't care. And you just love watching him play.
I think he has to be outside of Michael Jordan. I think he's probably the highest draw basketball have seen since him.
Well, you think about it, Jordan came in, reinvented basketball to a degree. First of all, you had Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came in and changed things. One guy could play tremendously. The other guy couldn't even walk, and look what they did.
Yeah.
And then you had Jordan, and look at how many people can be like Jordan? Not a lot of people. How many people could be like Curry shooting from freaking 3/4 down the street?
Yeah, because you go to my nephew damn games, you see every little 6-year-old chucking the ball from half court now.
And it's like, but he helped reinvent it. And without him, you think about, I don't know who came up with the 3-point shot, an executive or whatever, but without that, some of these teams are shooting 60% of the shots.
Yeah, it's
There's
all
no
analytics
centers
now. It's all analytics now.
Oh, it's every sport. The only sport that's not analytic really is football because it can't be. Baseball, it's like Dave Roberts. You know Dave Roberts doesn't get to make all the choices himself. There's some guy in a suit that weighs 35 pounds that graduated from Harvard. And Harvard, you fucked up with the things that you're doing right now, backing the wrong people. And if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what's going on in Israel.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the shit that they're not saying that they need to say. But the reality is, those guys, these guys that go into college and they come out and they have great analytics, but that doesn't always work in the field. You know, it's kind of like your Dodgers. What's the guy's Friedman? You know, they're talking about, well, should they get rid of him? Well, give him a couple years. You can't. Don't get rid of Dave Roberts.
Well, if
get some
anything,
players.
Man, Freeman, he's still good. He's still gonna get. I don't know the stats for this season.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the Dodgers that much. But I mean, he's still a leader. He probably 1 year removed from being an All-Star. So I mean, he's still
productive. Him and Mookie Betts, what a great 1-2 punch. Mookie Betts, first time they brought him over, they gave him that big contract. I'm thinking, the guy doesn't weigh 75 pounds.
Yeah,
he's so small. Shit.
But look at Altuve.
Altuve is the first guy to get one of those big contracts. He's 5'7", 5'6". I mean, he's had a hell of a year. If he hadn't got hurt in the World Classic, can you imagine what he would have done? But look at Houston's lineup. They're powered all the way. The worst, this tells you how bad Scherzer, as I say his name, Scherzer was yesterday. Maldonado, the catcher, who's great on defense. Worst, literally, it's so funny. I believe her name is Michelle Hernandez, a softball player. She was on First Take. She said, the worst hitter in baseball. Now, you think about that. He got a hit off him. That just tells you you're having a bad day. The worst hitter can get a hit off him. It's just, now that we got the playoffs, Phillies, hopefully, I'd love to see the Phillies play Texas. I don't want to see Houston just because I don't know. I just can't stand Houston.
Let me tell you, I remember we played it.
Arizona ain't getting there.
Oh, no. I remember we had a series with the Rangers sometime in the summer. And when I tell you the Rangers, they swept our ass. I said, that's a team that I do not want to play for the World Series. Because that pitching on that damn team, they went out there. You thought it was Nolan Ryan walking through that damn thing.
Also, think about Corey Seager. Dodgers didn't want to give him money.
No.
Look what they gave him. He missed 30-something games. He had a hell of a year. Then you look at Dodgers didn't want to pay Trey Turner.
Yeah,
Trey Turner started out slow. last 3 months he's been. Dodgers don't want to pay certain people, and look at the shortstop they had this year. You know, it's like hell. They got rid of Turner. He went to Boston, had a hell of a year. Mm-hmm. It's like wow.
We had to move Mookie to the infield.
Yeah, he played second base. He played short. I think he played short too. He played right field. It's kind of like then you got the guy back from Kiki Hernandez. You got him back from Boston. Mm-hmm. Really? He plays 25 positions.
Listen, you can't get mad. Dodgers have been in the running for the last 5-6 seasons. Now they squandered their opportunities. Now nobody's arguing that, but I mean they've been in the game. So I mean, hey, I don't feel bad for them. I don't like Dodgers in a way.
You know, another thing is, if you look at Philadelphia fans, you know, even the baseball fans, it's interesting. They said today on television, because the Arizona game, some of the tickets are as cheap as $9. Some Philadelphia fan bought, and I might have the number wrong, it was either 40 or 400 tickets, so that it shows that there's very few people. He lives in Philadelphia. He didn't plan on giving to anybody. He bought the tickets so that it looks empty. Mm-hmm. I mean, what a fucking prick.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I think if I hate them because I'm not part of that fan base.
Yeah.
But if I was a part of that fan base, I would relish every moment because that fan base. There's no fan base like it. Maybe Boston, maybe, but Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. You don't want to play there. You don't want to be there. Like I was in New York. We were trying to get tickets to. We was going to take the train to go down to Philly to go to the game, game 3, and the tickets went from being $100 to being $425 overnight. Once it all got announced, man, we were so mad. But my boy, one of my friends actually went. He FaceTimed us when he was there, and when I tell you that they was on his head, man, like with the atmosphere alone, like it's like a concert. Like a rock
Philadelphia.
concert.
Well, it's so funny. Dan Orlovsky went with his family. It was so funny.
To where?
To the Philadelphia game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's so funny. It showed him and his family and his kids in a Philly jersey. One of the guys on Get Up was saying, yeah, Dan, you look really good. He goes, but, you know, we know you and your kids and your wife bought the jerseys. You only went there. You're not a Philadelphia fan. He goes, you know, you're just a front runner. And it was funnier than hell. He's like, why is everybody picking on me? Well, you got to go to the game.
Yeah.
And
we all wanted to go to the game.
Well, look at Philadelphia. They're the only one that ever booed Santa Claus. Philadelphia's stadium for football has a jail.
Yeah.
The fans, I mean, like, let's get to Jalen Hurts. People are pissed off. He's got 7 interceptions now, more than he had last year. The kid is still talented. New coordinators all over. Your offensive line needs to do better. I always love when people break it down. We held on to the ball for 4.2 seconds, a little bit long. Well, no one was open. He's got great receivers. You count them out. Now, they got a big game this week against Miami.
Oh, he's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Sunday night game.
Yeah, Sunday night game. You look at it, you got
Yeah.
Tua, who came in and took your job at halftime, won a national championship. But here's the best part.
He came back in.
That, and then you got Jalen Hurts getting a contract guaranteed $200-something million. Tua hasn't got anything guaranteed. Mm-mm. But it's going to be...
Tua can't stay healthy, man.
No, if he could stay healthy, damn, he's fun to watch.
Tua is operating the best offense probably since the greatest show on turf. And
yep.
But, you know, and the thing about Jalen is, Jalen's so sound, and Jalen's going to get it together. I mean, with new coordinators, people understand when you got new coordinators and you got so many different moving parts, it takes you time to get, you know, cohesion, to get your timing down and understand the playbook. But I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be straight toward the end of the season, though.
Well, they're favored to win, and I always love the talk shows because all they do is talk about the negative. There's a difference between critiquing and just beating the shit out of everybody. Because you look at the coach for the Dolphins, you look at him, you're like, what a brilliant mind.
You would never thought, yeah.
No, but I'll tell you the one person that's got to go is the coach for the frickin' Chargers. I'm sorry, first of all, the guy blew that game. They could have tied it up, and he did it last year against the Raiders when they could. It's kind of like, okay. And he thought, well, let's go for it instead of take 3 points. Your team hasn't been playing well.
Why would you dare? I don't care what the analytics could not possibly told you to do that. Not your analytics.
No. He's got 3 years of proving he's an idiot. And look at Dak Prescott. You know, people, he's not got it. He's not worth it. Who else you got in Dallas? Number one.
Well, now they got Trey Lance on the bench.
Like again, who else you got? Because Trey Lance hasn't proven himself.
And they got Zap.
Zappy. He went to. He's with the Patriots, but they got the kid Rush. They got Rush. And Cooper Rush. I just love the name. You know, people are like, well, he can only. Like this one, the announcer said, well, he can only win 5 games at a time. What the fuck are you talking about? Hopefully Trey Lance gets a chance. That's all the kid needs. He has all the tools physically, but
I'm gonna say this: if the Cowboys play like last week, where they actually put Dak on the move, they had him running the ball back when he was. I'm an LSU fan. I gotta keep saying that, but when we played Mississippi State that year, we was favored to win the SEC that year. We had to play Dak Prescott in that number 5 Mississippi State team, and they beat our ass. We couldn't do nothing with that.
He's got all the talent in the world. The thing is, you think about it, once he hurt his leg, it's like everybody called off the play call.
Yeah.
And he can still run.
He can still go. He ain't gonna break one.
There's a coach. Look, he's got his money. He can retire. But the thing is, too, the coach says, well, we don't want to score. I mean, how can you get rid of...
Man, McCarthy is so fucking overrated, dog.
He's been around since the beginning of fucking Ice Age.
Like, his play calling is so archaic, and he gets so much love, but it's really... Who was calling the plays there last year?
Now he's
Moore.
He's over with the Chargers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Caleb Moore.
Yeah.
And it's night and day. It's night and day. So, I mean, listen, man. And did you watch this morning when Molly called herself getting... She was getting a little frustrated saying why she don't understand why the Cowboys get so much flack.
When she was having that conversation, they were all standing up and she was talking with Dan and she was,
I'm like, you don't understand why the world hates the Cowboys.
Well, Parsons, she's like, well, he has the right. No, okay, you do have the right to say what you want, but there's ramifications. And Parsons, you got your ass kicked.
It was personal. Yeah. It was personal. They personally beat your ass.
And I mean, let me tell you, the game though the other night, he hadn't had that sack towards the end of the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy can play, but it's like Stephen A. Smith said, people need to shut up when the time comes it's true. You play for the Cowboys. Here's what Jerry Jones is smart too. You play for the Cowboys, you have other opportunities to make money. You play for my Bears, you ain't got shit. There ain't even public service for these.
It's
fuckers.
crazy when they said that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it was. A lot of people don't think you play for the Lakers. Think about the bench guys for the Lakers.
No. So I have a cousin that played for the Cowboys, and so
what was his name? Or what is his name?
Well, we call what's Greg? What's Greg's last name? Goddamn, what's Greg's last name? I don't even know my cousin's last name. Greg. Anyway, he played back. He played back when Deion then was there.
Uh-huh.
And but even to this day, he does at least 25 speeches or speaking engagement out the year. He pays him over $100,000.
Oh yeah,
like little stuff like that. And he wasn't a main guy. He just was on the special teams.
But you were on the team.
So, but I got to know another dude. I can't remember his name. I met him years ago, but he does the radio in the background, and he's moved up the ranks to TV and so on and so forth. Like the Cowboys draw so much attention, and people don't understand. Like when you play on every Thanksgiving, when you're always on TV, like the world clamors to be a part of the organization.
You need to stand. I mean, think about it. The Lions are smart. Not the Lions and the Cowboys. I didn't mean to say they were smart. What a dumb fucking thing. Excuse me. Damn bad boy. But
they're smart now.
the Lions and the Cowboys, when they first came and asked them about playing the game, they said, yeah, we'll play, but you have to guarantee us we're always going to play on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about the marketing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Lions, God, who owned the Lions? Yeah, that's the first game ever. That was a guarantee that we play, and they've played every Thanksgiving.
No, I never knew that. I always wondered why I always saw,
no matter how shitty they were.
And that was the thing, like the Lions why do we see them?
Yeah, then the Cowboys, and then they added the night game too, just to be able to have, because it's good marketing.
Think about marketing. I mean, it's like they have Mahomes was talking about wanting to own an NFL team. Okay. And then they were talking today and yesterday about, what, and this is so funny. One of them goes, what white owner is going to give a player a small percentage? And you think about it, God, who's Marcus? I believe it was Marcus Spears, who's fucking hilarious. These guys but they're so intelligent about sports. But what I was going to get to, you talked about your cousin. You look at athletes. What are athletes taught? Number one, dedication, time management, discipline. You take that to major corporations. That's why people love them.
Yeah.
And they love to hear the stories. Mm-hmm. They love to.
But they just want to be a part of it. They just want to be a part of it. This is my guy right here. What?
They want to take a picture. Look, the only people I'm taking pictures with is Mother Teresa and Jesus.
Yeah.
And hopefully that ain't going to happen for a while.
No,
but
absolutely.
you love these people that have a picture and like, look at me. And, hey, you paid $5,000 for that picture.
Absolutely.
But you didn't tell anybody.
Absolutely.
But, it's kind of like Brock Purdy. People,
Hey,
still,
man,
still give the guy shit.
I think Brock is elite, man. I think he's elite. I'm just saying, because this is why I say that. To be able to manage that well-oiled machine, and so what? I mean, when everybody got hurt, he didn't have the best of games, but so what? I mean, the way he's able to run that machine.
He got them in position to win. The kicker missed.
Yeah.
And people are saying, it just kills me. People saying, well, he's the last one taken and this and that. He's in a system. Really? Every quarterback's in a Tom system. Brady was in a system. Think about it. But Tom Brady, I'm not taking away from anybody. Every team has a system.
You know who Brock Purdy is? Troy Aikman. And Troy Aikman made big plays when it was time to make big plays. Of course, he had great players around him.
Yeah.
But when it was time to go get that third down, that first down, on third down, he hit Irvin, he hit Taylor, like he hit Harper.
Emmitt Smith, out of the backfield. So
he reminded me of him having all the different. Think about it. If you take Purdy out of there and you put another quarterback in there, that doesn't automatically assume that team is going to be great.
No,
it does not. You know. So
you can't. Well, it's like their backup is a kid that's from USC. He got drafted by the Jets, and they kept him over Trey.
I know his mouth.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember his freaking name. But the bottom line is, if he's in there, his skills are different.
Yeah.
And think about Brock Purdy. They've talked to him recently. He doesn't make a lot of money. He shares a part with offensive linemen, and he goes, he takes him out to eat all the time. Just the humility, but you also realize they don't have to pay him anything for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. They're a decent organization. Hopefully they do. But look at everybody around him. Every team has a system.
Absolutely.
And every team has a strategy. And football is it's so fun to watch. Big game this weekend, college, Alabama and Tennessee.
Yeah. Fuck Alabama.
Well, it's interesting. Pat McAfee, the show drives me nuts. But he has Aaron Rodgers one day. And
you ain't bet.
Well, you know what? You put him by himself. Howard Stern is probably one of the most brilliant radio hosts in the world. Mm-hmm. But you put him by himself, he's boring as shit.
Yeah.
Unless he has people to interact with and make fun of and all. Pat McAfee, boring as shit. I'll say this.
I can't watch the show. I can't watch his show.
No, but I watch him on College Game. Yeah. He's on the College Game Day. He's excellent because the guy's first of all, he's got a guy on there with the fucking mullet. The guy's a grown-ass man in 2023 on a national team. He's got a freaking mullet. I mean, what the fuck?
Let the man have
and he has great people in there. And the good thing is, too, one of the announcers or reporters, reported that, he pays Rodgers almost $1 million a year and Saban $1 million a year. And it's funny, a lot of these guys.
He paid him $1 million to come on the show?
Rodgers helped make his company. Of course. I
remember it was on YouTube.
So he said on YouTube, his company, when he started, or the valuation was $10 million. Now his company's valued at over $500 million. He goes, it's because of Aaron Rodgers. Think about it.
Oh, he did.
Without Aaron Rodgers, what did he have? And now he's still there. And now you get to listen to Nick Saban. Nick Saban.
I didn't know Saban was on the show.
Saban's on every Thursday.
I didn't know that.
He's freaking hilarious. And you have, is it CJ Hawk? He played for the Packers. His last name is Hawk. One of the Hawk.
Oh, AJ.
AJ. He's on there. And then you have some really great guests. Mm-hmm. But every time Thursday, I make sure I get to watch it. Nick Saban has some amazing, amazing things to say. The man's 70-something years old.
Nick is dope, man.
But it's kind of like, and Alabama is Alabama, like you said. Everybody's catching up. The NIL is making, look at Sanders, okay? They get their ass kicked, got their ass kicked. And, okay, now, what are they going to be like? He got upset after the game and said that they got to have better luck. Well, you know what? They're mimicking you to a degree, all the hype that you bring. But the bottom line is, he's almost reminds me of a Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, none of these guys could really coach in the NBA because no one could do what they did. Mm-hmm. And Deion Sanders isn't going to find the people to do what he did.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that, they lost. They should have won that game.
I'll say this.
He is. I don't watch the games with him to watch the players. No, I watch every game. Okay. But I watch to see him too.
Oh yeah,
not many coaches do I watch to see.
Remember the Colorado and Colorado State game?
Oh hell yes!
I text my homeboy. I said, "When was the last time we stayed up to 12 o'clock at night to watch Colorado and Colorado State?" And the shit was crazy. But they don't have no discipline.
No,
because they have 17 penalties. you're not disciplined.
No.
And the crazy thing is, I think that you got players taking too many snaps. So I think that's helping a lot of the penalty as well. But a lot of it is it's probably you don't even know it. It's probably they're taking on a lot of his attributes and not even paying attention to it.
Yep.
So I think that has something to do with it too. But let me tell you something. I'm praying that Florida coach can hold it together. I'm praying Saban stay in Alabama a little longer because if Deion gets to Florida or Alabama,
he'll go someplace else.
Let me tell you something, because that's the plan. He's gonna be there another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But I don't want him at a big dog school like that because who's gonna see him? Who's gonna touch the recruiting? He's gonna be a problem that nobody wants to deal with.
Yeah, no,
he's Pete Carroll, but
at USC.
Yeah. So,
but the good thing about him too is, the way he talks about the kids, but I think it's like anything. If you're so great at what you do, people aren't going to be that way. Yeah. So, and also you look at their defense. Sweet frick me, Lord, mother of God. My mother passed away on, this year. She could come back and, score on the defense. And then again, look at USC's defense.
He ain't got no dogs. He said he about 8-9 dogs away.
But you know what? This is his first year. And, let's give him a chance. But, some of these games coming up for him, if their defense doesn't get better.
They lost the game they lost last week. Stanford, they should have won that because this.
I shut the game off.
Oh, you did?
I'm like, this is fucking boring. The shit. There's just, I literally thought it'd be like 60 after you're down 29-0.
Yeah.
And you look at Stanford. The only reason I kept watching Stanford for a while, the guy Troy Taylor's from Sacramento. He was at Sac State, and he's really worked his way through. My family and different people have met him. Mm-hmm. Really a great guy. But you know what? 29-0. And Stanford, who doesn't have the greatest athletes because they do have, like other schools, you got to fucking get great grades. Yeah. They fucking won.
That receiver?
I woke up in the morning and I'm like, what the hell?
That receiver?
Yes. He had, second half, he was like.
It was a perfect storm because Travis came back and you could tell, like, when you play corner, 3 weeks out, you got, that's timing, you out of shape, and plus he playing both ways. I think he played over 100.
How about the touchdown where he broke the guy's ankles almost?
He didn't even get touched. He didn't even get touched.
It's like just watching that. But no, go ahead. Like you were saying.
No. I was just saying that I think Travis Hunter. I think he took too many snaps because he just came off an injury, so he was out of shape. But I don't want to take nothing away from the receiver for Stanford because that's a grown ass man. That boy about 6'3", 6'4", about 215.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. And when I tell you, he moused the hell out of him. He caught that ball behind his head.
Well, I love when they do You've Been Mossed on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, or like when First Take does the pancakes with Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, I love it.
Jeff, don't take a head coaching job ever again. Sweet Jesus. You're much better at the analyst. Well, that's the thing about sports is people don't realize these are, they're grown-ass men, but they're in college.
Yeah.
You can expect certain things, but now it's you got to win. And the demoralization with some of these athletes, if they don't do well, the media.
Oh yeah, they're gonna tear your ass up.
I mean, they make you want to kill yourself.
And do you think about when you think about these college athletes though? It's so much. They got so much on them. I mean, so now you have NIL involved now. So now they're getting monies that that generations before them never got.
Never.
They got coverage legally.
No matter what anybody tells me, these motherfuckers are getting paid. On, man. Hey, you got boosters that are like,
hey, boy, this is what I want you to do now. Go back to the back pew back there, and they're gonna pass you the money in the basket. All right,
or they pay your dad or your aunt, or it's
when your whole family all of a sudden get a job at a corporation in Ohio State, and you're from Texas. Yeah.
Oh, look at LeBron James when he was in high school. His mother had God bless, never had anything. And all of a sudden, when he came out here to play at UCLA, some high school tournament, she had a brand new car, she had all this, but she didn't have, So, and you know what? They deserve it.
Why are we talking about it? Somebody need to give Reggie Bush back his Heisman. Can he get it back?
And he's getting more commercials now. But
think about it. He was shunned and blackballed. I didn't say blackballed, but isolated. Like looked at like I don't want to touch him.
Everybody was that towards him. They treated him like shit.
Come on.
Didn't they give Chris Webber? They put his jersey back up in the rafters. There, he was allowed back in at U of M afterwards.
Yeah. Well, he actually did something that he shouldn't have done. There's there's really no proof about Reggie Bush.
Well,
really? What do you feel like with
Chris Webber?
What's different between Reggie Bush?
Well, because Chris Webber, they took the money the whole time they were there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they literally for 2 or 3 years they were there. They all took the money, not just Chris Webber. And they lied. They did everything they could. Reggie Bush, the family talked about it. They didn't sit there and say, we didn't get it. I mean, shit, if you're at Utah, 85 guys got that fucking, I think we talked about this, 85 guys got first of all, why will you give me a truck? I don't want no goddamn
Give
truck.
me some money, goddamn it.
And you think they're leased, so the next 3 years, whoever the next guy is has to get a used fucking car.
Next man up.
If you're in Utah, you got 85 cars to get somebody, you must be Mr. or Mrs. Utah. But yeah, the whole NIL thing, I mean, you think about, like, what was it? Manning didn't want to go to San Diego, so he didn't go to San Diego. Now, Caleb, father comes out talking. Maybe he'll stay in. Well, I hate to break news to you. Until they change it, he might get on a worse team because the Bears have, the first and the third or fourth right now picks next year. Can you imagine if they got Caleb Williams and Harrison?
Wait. So it's about this year and next year?
No, this coming year they have, out of the first 5 picks right now, they have number 1. But they'll have either from the 3rd to the 5th and 5 picks.
But see, that's the thing. So Caleb's, so he's talking about
staying.
He's talking about staying. But that's a good thing. It's like, why do I have to go to a goddamn godforsaken team like the Jets and be like the Zach Wilson and not get developed, or Chicago Bears and not get developed and come into a bad situation? And I'm already getting paid $2-3 million just to be in college.
Well, you think about it. Okay, first of all, they're losing. He's not going to be in the public's in the national spotlight as much as he should. He threw 3 interceptions. People look bad. Now you got, I can't say his name right. God, the kid, a left-handed kid from Washington.
Penix.
Okay, first of all, he's 24 years old, 6th year. He had injuries. But whoa, is he fun to watch?
He's ripping it.
Almost all of the almost every quarterback in the Pac-12.
He's ripping it, but he ain't playing. Ain't nobody playing better than Jaden Daniels. He has the
LSU
best numbers.
LSU, if they could, I just want to see them upset everybody.
I want them too.
The first game of the year.
I'm gonna say this. People talking about they got Jayton like number 4 or 5 on the Heisman watch. But guess how many games that USC lost last year? They lost 3, and he still won the Heisman.
Yeah.
So it's just like, come on, man.
He put up the gaudiest numbers last year. You think about it. If they could have played defense, they wouldn't have lost twice to the same team.
I agree.
And think about it. Utah this year, their quarterback is still out with the knee. Utah's still doing pretty damn good. I mean, look at the transfer from Cleveland to Oregon State. Oregon State had the highest ranking at 12 than they've had in so long.
Yeah.
And DJ, I can't pronounce the name,
DJ
so I don't want to.
Ugalele.
Yeah, I don't want to screw it up. But the young man came over there. The pressure at some of these major colleges.
I'm gonna say this about him though. People but Dabo and everybody down at Clemson try to make it seem like he was the problem.
No,
and he wasn't the problem. And so you saw the boy that came in behind him, Gabe Kluchenik, something like that.
Yeah.
He was the number 1 dual threat for that for his class. He goes to Oregon State, and now they ranked in the top 25.
It's just, this NIL has made everything so competitive and equal. And now you see when Colorado goes to the Big 12 next year, Oklahoma's gone. That Oklahoma game in
that sucks. Oklahoma, Texas.
Yes. Well, it's kind of like I'm a Notre Dame fan. The Ohio State game. Talked about. I'm just crying on the side now. Notre Dame goes out and loses 2 games. Then they just beat. Who can't beat USC right now? Come on. I'm
gonna say this though. I think I like the fact that I ain't gonna say I love the fact that the playoffs are expanded, but I also like the fact that I love traditional conferences. Yeah. But I also appreciate with Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC, and with Washington and Oregon and UCLA and USC going to Big Ten. And I think Miami's going to have to join, Clemson's going to have to join, somebody else, whatever. The point I'm making is that with the expansion and with all these teams coming to these different conferences, now you're going to be forced to, you can't avoid nobody. You can't hide. You're going to have to play the best of the best.
And they are going to let some of them keep their tradition, playing each other and stuff like that. But you're going to definitely get to see, because look, the Pac-10, it's at nighttime games. Back east, it's midnight half the time. So you see that. So if Caleb Williams won the Heisman and his games were late last year, you think about some of these quarterbacks. I mean, it's going to be amazing to see what happens. Now, Penn State this week has a hell of a game.
Ohio State.
And you think about it, Ohio State squeaked by the Irish. Ohio State, their young quarterback, very talented. Now, if Day loses again, Ohio State, they're one of the schools that won't tolerate. Does he deserve it? Yeah, you lose one game, you can't. But here's the best part for me. Michigan today, first of all, everybody has, all you and I have to do is go to a football game, turn on our camera, focus it on the coaches across the thing, and deliver it to somebody. But what I love about Jim Harbaugh, no, I don't know why they're doing everything the man does illegal or wrong. He don't take responsibility.
But you know what's crazy though? So my boy, like I said, he played at Ohio State. He was a big Ohio State fan. And so I guess remember when Ohio State played Clemson back to back in the early, like 2016, 2017 ish around there.
When Clemson was on the top of their game.
When Brent Venables was the defensive coordinator, they kept saying he knew the calls. They knew the calls, and then they played them again. They beat their ass, and so you see with them now, they had 3 teams this season complain about Michigan. About cheating, about the calls, about them knowing the calls.
Yeah.
And so listen, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Well, that's in everything. Unless you're in a relationship, guys, we don't. Well, like
I wouldn't recommend doing that in a relationship.
But that's or if you work for a governmental organization either. But the thing is, you look at it. Is it cheating? No, because if you watch the teams, if you know the coordinators, they do almost the same thing all the time. That's why in the NFL, first down, second down, run, pass, third down, you better pass if you can't get it. So you know what they're going to do.
So you know schematically what should happen. But it's a difference between, all right, they're going to run and, hey, get in that gap. Hey, come over here. What?
No, that's true. No, it's, but look, cheating. I mean, Harbaugh, what? He got suspended because he bought a kid lunch or something. That was the whole thing.
And then COVID or something.
Yeah, and the NIL, the kids are making more money than some fucking coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. If you have some of these kids NIL making more than a head coach.
I got a problem. So this is the other backside of the problem I have with NIL. So like you got Caleb. Caleb just came out this week, I think, or last week, saying that he wants wherever team he goes to, he wants a portion.
Yeah.
He wants the ownership. And
his dad is the one that says
it. So you think about he hasn't thrown one single down in the NFL, and he's uber talented, and he could come out and be the next Joe Montana or Marino, but the entitlement that started slowly but surely arising with these kids is that you got kids coming in like Quinn Ewers. First year, he didn't go to senior year. He went to Ohio State and got $1 million deal. He was the first kid to get $1 million deal on the NIL and haven't even thrown the ball. He didn't even play. He got the money and ran.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like it's like Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Okay. The talent that this young man has. He's sitting out the first 25 games. But if you listen to his dad acts like they come out with his dad taking him to strip clubs. Days before games, his dad would be out him. And they were talking today, the seediest bars, he would take private jets to games ahead of the team. It's kind of like, okay, you got the money. He's going to lose $25 million.
Yeah.
$25 million this year. But again, he screws up. And think about it. You screw up one more time, he won't ever be in the NBA. You look at his father, who's gone to games, almost got in a fight with Shannon last
Sharp.
year. And I'm sorry, Shannon Sharp just beat shit out of most people. But the reality is, you have these kids, and the influence is family. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a kid that I worked with, went to one of the major colleges, drafted number 33 or number 32, blah, 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 years ago. When he got his first signing bonus, he didn't know his father had taken money for 4 years from an agent, $490,000.
I didn't know that.
And, this happens all the time. Families do this stuff. But, you've got these
it's
kids.
The handlers, man. It's the handlers.
Well, the NCAA, whoever you fuckers are, NCAA now wants to be able to help them, invest their money and do all that. Well, first of all, you're the guys that said they shouldn't get it.
Man,
so
they just trying to get their cut.
Are some of the biggest hypocrites on the planet.
Well,
I can't stand NC2A, dog.
Think about my nephew when he went to college basketball. We couldn't even take him and some of the guys to dinner. It's like nowadays, hell, you can, I still love the commercial with Caleb Williams for Wendy's and Matt Leinart. I just love it. He's like, no, you're not playing. Nobody knows who the fuck Matt Leinart.
No.
But that's the beauty of sports. I mean, it brings people together. It takes people apart. We got the Olympics coming up soon, and Simone Biles.
She cannot be stopped. Is she human?
And you think about the time she took off, and she came back and just
whooped
everybody's ass.
Like it wasn't nothing. When have you seen a gymnast at her stage of her career be able to come back? We've never seen nobody come back.
No.
Let alone do what she did. But come back and do what she did?
Well, I also think you look at it this way, too. the fact that she's African American, people didn't think in the beginning because she's African American, she's not going to be a good gymnast. Look at the Coco Gauff. She just won. She's 18 years old. People are like, oh, she's going to be she kept teetering. Let me tell you, when she won that day, I watch every sports I can.
Me too.
You just got chills. This is an 18-year-old kid. All these adults were saying, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. Or you're not going to be, who the hell knows who's going to be Serena Williams? What do you want to do? Be Steffi Graf? What, some fucking guy jump out of the stands and stab your ass?
She has so much. The thing about tennis, because I watch tennis, my mom was a huge tennis fan. I watch it just so we can have a sport to talk about.
Yeah.
And the pressures that she had on her and all the comparisons to Serena, I don't think it was unfair. If you think about it, she's more on pace of Venus' career than she was Serena's. And last time I checked, Venus is a fucking Hall of Famer.
And she made her money.
And
you think about it.
She's 18.
Venus,
Serena
Williams, anomaly. Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what she did, the father, you got to give him credit, might be fucked up, who the hell knows. But, and her sister, Venus, talented, but not as. So you think about all the pressure when they were growing up together.
Oh.
And you think about, Coco Gauff. Like, who won it 2 years ago? The girl, the little girl that won it
Naomi?
What the hell's her last? No, that was she took time off for mental health, but the other girl, she won one of them. Her last name starts with an R, I think. She hasn't done shit since she won one of them. The pressure on her was just phenomenal. And so, but you look at Gauff, she's never cracked under the pressure. No. She's had phenomenal runs, but it's just great to see. I think what this society does is they limit people of minority when it comes to sports, thinking you can't. You think about who was the first African American quarterback in the NFL that was successful.
Oh, what's his name? Doug Williams, right?
Doug Williams, successful, won the Super Bowl, still treated like a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Then you had Warren Moon, you had all these guys, and they say, well, only the black guys could. No,
you know what's crazy? It made me a story. So one of my close friends, he was the best athlete in my school. He's a registered genius, and he had offers from every SEC school come basketball and football. But they wouldn't let him play quarterback. So it was another cat, I ain't gonna say his name, but he was good, but he wasn't my boy, my boy TJ. And so we all was at practice. We all was like everyone at school knew who was the best quarterback for our team. And they was like, well, we're gonna make you play receiver. He quit.
Well, look at Terrell Pryor at Ohio State.
Man, Terrell,
he had some issues.
Terrell for his time, man.
But watching him was fantastic. Then no one let him play quarterback. Then they wanted him to play receiver. He did some good shit.
He got 1,000 yards as a receiver. Well, he was a receiver for 1 year. That summer, we did the work, worked on his footwork and all that. Came back and scored got 1,000 yard. 1,000 yard catching, all right?
Yeah,
1,000 yards catching. Never played receiver in his life.
Well, the thing is, you think about this, okay? And they say you mentally, well, he knew every route as a quarterback would. He knew everything as a quarterback. So when you say that you can't put a person in this position, and let's get honest, it's because of the skin. It ain't any other fucking reason that's happened. But now you look at all the kids that can play, all the kids that are getting opportunities. They don't say, well, he just runs. Well, they fucking,
I remember a time when we never saw, only black quarterback I ever saw was Dante Culpepper and the old Randall Cunningham and Warren Moon.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't all at the same damn time either.
No.
Then when Vic, it was something about I remember when the Saints, Darryl, what's his name? He was a receiver back in like 98, 99. He was a black quarterback for them. And we was like the Saints. I can't think of his name. But
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. But it's back when Deuce and them was there, Deuce McAllister and everybody was there. And it was like first we were like, we had a black quarterback at home. You know what I'm saying? So now to see every time you turn around, there's black quarterbacks and other whatever race. I love to see it, man.
Well, it's just people say evolve. How could you evolve when you stop people from growing? It's not evolution. It's people, and you know why? Number one, they see they can win and they can make fucking money. That's the shitty part.
Was it Aaron Brooks?
Aaron Brooks, man.
And then Jeff Blake also.
Blake played.
Yeah. But Aaron Brooks.
It's kind of okay. Let's look at Heisman Trophy winners. You have Heisman Trophy winners. You have Ward. Never made it in the pros.
Oh man!
And then you have Chris Weineke. I think he won it at 29 years old.
I think Charlie Ward.
Ward had talent.
I think he would have played if he came out now. I think he would play football.
But they wouldn't let him be quarterback.
You remember him playing? Remember that game he had against Notre Dame his senior year?
He just and the thing that killed me back then too. I got them fucking shoulder pads. When your shoulder pads are, I mean, you talk about Cunningham, and I can vision Cunningham, and then Dion, when they keep showing him, the pads are up to here. Yeah. Now you have the offensive lineman, you're like, do they have hockey pads on? Mm-hmm. I mean, how the hell do they throw? But those pads were so
They were horrible. I remember playing in them damn pads. All you hear is the pads shaking and shit when you're running, rattling. Now they got the pads built in your tights and your compression shorts and shirts.
Think about when those guys played. They didn't have a protector for their ribs. Every quarterback has something that NASA created.
And the back. And your back, too.
Oh, in the back. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
They got the
so
back
you think about
protector.
You big babies. I mean, not saying they're babies.
It's a different time,
but back
man.
different times. I mean, Dick Butkus just died.
Oh,
and, Dick Butkus played 9 years. But the man, I mean, the hits... I mean, look at when Ronnie Lott played. What, he had his finger shot off so he could play. I mean, you don't have these guys nowadays. You just literally don't.
Here's a question for you. I heard somebody talk about this. Do you think that if we took the necessary steps to eventually, instead of the helmets they have, go back to the leather helmets, that the game would be more safe for the players because people would do less like head-on-head?
What do you think?
I mean, I guess it'll be like rugby.
Yeah, in a way. So if you were less protected, and especially with your head, you wouldn't lead necessarily.
You wouldn't lead like that.
Do you think the game would be safer?
I think it would be, because I mean you're risking your own life as you're risking somebody else's, like, for that, to get that tackle, for that impact. And so when you put the helmet on, you feel empowered, to go out there and smash somebody, because you assume, not that it's true, but you have I'm protected. Whereas if I ain't got my helmet on, think about it. How many people going to fight without a helmet on football, let alone without
unless you're
one?
Miles Garrett, you just rip it off somebody's head.
That's why too. I mean, your hockey, where they take the helmet
you think
off,
about the practice now, the football players have the big red thing on their head.
Like the cushion thing?
Yeah, the cushion. But you also look at it this way. If you bring back that, okay, remember, everything's money making.
Yeah.
How many different helmets are there? If you bring back the leather, number one, the face mask can be a little interesting to have. But the bottom line is too, and I always say this, these guys play, once you get to college and pros, you play because you want money. I mean, let's get real.
Yeah.
So they're willing to jeopardize, but now with all the brain thing?
CTE.
CTE? Yeah. With all the guys, talking about it, and that have it, and they've proved it. Think about all those guys that first started building all these sports. But I got to tell you this, I've been watching the World Cup of rugby. Mm-hmm. The biggest guys I've ever seen in my life. These guys go at it full bore, no pads. I got to watch Fiji. I got to watch Argentina. I got to watch Wales. I got to watch England. And you're just like, oh, my God. I mean, and then I got to see the women a couple months ago. The same thing. So very few of them wear the hats, the leather hats. But the sad thing about the rugby players, have you ever seen their ears?
Nope.
Cauliflower ears.
Oh, I ain't doing no cauliflower ears.
Oh, no. And they're like, it's just a cartilage. I'm like, no. You don't look right.
I'll take the risk.
You know what? I
ain't walking. I ain't gonna walk out there like this.
I had a good cast on my ear. I popped a blood vessel playing hockey one time, and my whole ear blew up. They put a cast on it for a week. They tried to make me go to school. I was like, I ain't going to school with this thing on. I still have the cast.
I've never heard of a cast on the ear before.
Souvenir.
It prevented it from going to cauliflower ear.
And you can't. There's no reverse. Well, look at the MMA fighters.
Yeah,
the ones that were jiu-jitsu, and the ones.
Hey, I did jiu-jitsu for about 2 weeks. And I started to realize, why my ears look like that? And I started feeling my ear being like tired, or how you just always getting caught and rubbed that. I'm done. I ain't grappling. No. We can't fight like this. This ain't a sport for me.
Oh my God, that's funnier and shit. It's like the athletes, what they put themselves through is just phenomenal. I mean, Neymar, think about it.
Yeah.
He signs the deal with Saudi Arabia for $98 million. He tears his
ACL and MCL,
but he got his $98 million. I mean, you think about that. You get your money. Well, it's like tonight's game is Jaguars versus Saints. So you got Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. Lawrence got a bad knee. You don't know if he's going to play, but it's going to be a good game. So the good thing about sports is it draws us together. We have fun on it. This show's all about our opinions.
Yeah.
It means we're right. That's the only thing that matters. But I want to say thank you for listening to this episode of My Opinion. You're welcome. Darryl, how can we greet you?
Oh, yeah. You catch me on Twitter, CountryBoy24, Instagram, Darryl Blalock Jr., and Facebook. I guess is my name because I don't be on there.
And you can reach me on all social media, or Dennis Henning Podcast Universe. I don't know any of the names of anything.
The Dennis Henning.
The Dennis Henning. See, goes to prove right there. And then we have a number below. Give us your opinion. We'd love to hear what you have to say. But again, thank you. Have a great day. And I'm praying for Notre Dame, but that ain't going to help.
I ain't going to help him.
All righty. That was good.
Yes, sir.